Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the field. This is HUN Reloaded versus Bane. Please enjoy this third last match of the evening.
Alright, I'm Kill 2. I'm here with Angel Hun. On the left of your screen in red for the match, we have HUN Reloaded fielding 3 Hurricanes, 2 Brutics, 1 Guardian, 1 Rook, and 1 Lachesis.
And for Bane, we have 2 Sleipnirs, a Hurricane, a Curse, Basilisk, Vulture, 2 Sabers, and 2 Draymules.
Right off the bat, I want to talk about range a little bit. The HUN Reloaded battle cruisers, the 3 Hurricanes and the 2 Brutics come in maybe 10k from the beacon, actually maybe 0 to the beacon, they're very close. And the same for the Hurricanes and Sleipnirs, and actually the Curse is pretty close as well for the Bane team. So only 10 or 15k probably between those major parts of the damage for both teams, and then the support at further range at opposite angles, so quite a bit of distance between the support and the damage ships. And we are rolling damage drones on the field for both teams, and this is going to be, I think, a really good match because there's a lot of damage here.
There's certainly a lot of damage. I'm not really so sure about the Lachesis. Hopefully it will be able to keep range and dampen. I'm confident that HUN Reloaded does know what they're doing. They're the pioneers of the bomber setup and used it to great effect in Alliance Tournament 5, I believe. Right now it looks like one of their big damage dealers, the Brutix, is in trouble. Not sure if that's going to really affect them terribly at this point. They may be able to trade it for a Hurricane simultaneously. The race seems to be going in the favor of Bane, however.
Yeah, it definitely does. I thought for a minute that it might be, and that Brutix does go down for HUN Reloaded. I was thinking HUN Reloaded is in good shape, actually. If the Lachesis is able to put damps, if it had them on the Basilisk for Bane, it might be able to keep the Basilisk out of the fight since it was a pretty long range to start, but I'm actually not sure that it even has damps. It could be just there to scram, I guess, and someone said it was cap transferring. I don't know if that's true. Definitely, yeah, cap transfer going between the Guardian and Lachesis, so that's kind of weird.
And we're seeing, yet again, maybe Bane copycatting Panda a little bit. We're seeing smart bombing Sleipnir in that 1 utility high, seeing them clear off the field of HUN Reloaded drones. It looks like it's an interesting focus of E-War on the HUN Reloaded team, not really being spread out like some other teams have been doing in multiple E-War frigates, but in the slightly more resilient cruisers. What do you think about that, putting all your eggs really into one basket?
I think Rooks are good almost no matter what, but I don't know how you can justify Lachesis unless it's part of some, and that's how I feel actually, that it's part of some idea here that it's hard to understand from looking at the setup. As that second HUN Brutix goes down, really HUN in firm control. The Guardian going down now. The Bane Curse doing a great job of heading over to the HUN support and putting neutralizers on both the Rook and the Guardian, making them a lot less effective. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. It seems like with kind of those slots left, they might get more mileage out of maybe even just a Rook and some Frigs, or Frigs instead of both of those cruisers that can do kind of the same job. Even something like Cormorants or Ishkars or whatever might have been a better choice. But anyway, Hurricane going down really quickly now, so HUN getting punished pretty bad for this kind of weird setup.
And maybe it was just a concept that they came up with in the middle of the night. It just doesn't seem to be that effective. The Mimitar shield tank gank heavy setup from Bane just seems to be making mincemeat out of this HUN Reloaded setup. Hurricane 1 already gone down, and a second Hurricane entering deep armor with the Guardian just unable to keep up. I would imagine at this point the Guardian should be capped out by that Curse. Just the E-War doesn't seem to be that effective. Kind of a disappointing show for HUN Reloaded, but props to Bane for so far obtaining a perfect match, an excellent setup. Again, we're seeing a lot of support ships, and not necessarily putting battleships on the field, but putting ships that can do similar types of damage with increased mobility, like the Sleipnir.
I still think this Curse doing a great job in here and neuting all of these support ships for the HUN team. I am trying really hard to figure out what this Lachesis is doing, because it's kind of the odd ship out, I guess, in a sort of weird setup anyway. And I can't figure it out. He's not running any offensive E-War from what I can tell. No damps or scramblers. And he is cap transferring and shooting missiles. So I just don't know what his purpose was. I know that the Bane Sabers are running some offensive E-War and probably tracking disruptors, and that might be a big part of why Bane took so little damage at the start of the fight. The last battlecruiser there going down for HUN Reloaded, so now they'll just have to come out here, Bane will, and clean up the rest of these cruisers, the support cruisers, and that'll do it for HUN Reloaded in the tournament, actually. They are going to get knocked out with this performance.
And it looks like the Sabers are actually using tracking disruptors, a really effective use of this ship. Haven't really seen Sabers last this long before. It's pretty impressive that they've been staying up this long. Although HUN Reloaded really not fielding a lot of damage. The Lachesis finally about to die. Really not sure what the point of that ship was. Just seemingly completely ineffectual in this setup. The Rook going down, and the last ship on the field is Beast HUN in the Guardian. No relation to Angel HUN.
I always wondered, actually. I always thought of this team when I heard you were going to be in the tournament. Yeah, Bane taking this flawlessly. Such a weird and kind of disappointing performance. HUN Reloaded done so well in the tournament in the past. We will not be seeing them in the future, but we will be seeing Bane. So, yeah, weird. If anybody figures out what that Lachesis is supposed to do, if you HUN guys want to make a post and let us know, I would certainly be curious. Kind of maybe explain. I know that that's a team that knows what they're doing, so hopefully there's some explanation that makes sense. And now we're seeing Bane rep the HUN Guardian and spend some time looting, most likely, so we'll have to hold on here for a second.
Yep, just looks like Bane doing what they do best. I believe actually Bane is the old Beyond Virginity team from last year. Some of the pilots I do recognize, who actually did quite well last year. I believe they sold Beyond Virginity after the last tournament. So Bane are actually not newcomers to this tournament. They do have quite a bit of experience, really just looting the field now in really comprehensive control of this match. Really a good showing by them. Perfect match. I believe this is the perfect match, the first perfect match of the day. So props to you guys.
I kind of wanted to talk at some point about the Brutix. There were Brutix in this match, right?
Yes, there were. May not
How do you? I
remember
mean,
'cause they died.
I know they died real fast, but it's funny to see them. We don't, we talked some at the start of the tournament about how blasters weren't so good, and we're actually seeing blasters show up quite a bit here in the middle stages of this tournament, and it's fun to see the Brutix, which is, yeah, like I said, sort of a rare ship in tournaments for the most part, get used a lot in this one, especially getting used more and more as we move forward.
The Brutix really is, to quote Bjorn, is an interesting ship. It's sort of a glass cannon. It is able to field a decent amount of rep drones, so it's nice to have that utility available. I just don't think it's resilient enough to survive. I find the Hurricane is just so much faster, so much more effective, and much better able to dictate range. And Bane takes this match with nary a loss. Perfect victory for them. Back to Soundwave.
Thank you, guys. I'll be completely honest. I thought that was a really bad setup from HUN Reloaded. Quite surprising. They are one of the best teams traditionally in the tournament. Next up, we have what is possibly the best team. It's Pandemic Legion. They will be fighting Monks of War. Don't go anywhere. If you want to get a lesson in Alliance Tournament PvP, this is where you want to be watching. We'll be right back. We'll try to get back on schedule.